Okay, you know, looked at from any angle, withholding an employee's salary is incorrect before the law. It is tendentious, to say the least. Reprieve seems to have come the way of both the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities, SSANU, and the Non-Academic Staff Union, NASU. President Bola Tinubu has directed the Ministers of Finance, Wale Edu, and Education, Professor Tahir Maman, to explore ways of paying the withheld 4 months' salaries to them. The good news was broken to newsmen by the president of the NLC, Comrade Joe Ajero, who acted as the middleman between the unions and the president. All is well that ends well. BKO.
Yes, well, first and foremost, the judgment of the National Industrial Court has handed down in May last year. I think June 1 or so.
Okay.
Last year, I can't remember the date. Allows the federal government to not pay if workers...
the no work, no pay.
Yes. So
okay.
That negates the notion that, oh, it is wrong to withhold salaries. What the president is trying to do now, and trying to do it for the last time, is to pay workers who were on strike in 2022. ASU began a strike on the 14th of February.
Yeah.
On St. Valentine's Day. You know, they were paid half salary that month. And then because they didn't work for so long, they were being owed 7.5 months salary.
Okay.
Now, government paid 4 months. They have 3.5 months left. In the case of NASU
and SSANU,
NASU and SSANU, they began their strike in May, terminating in August 2022.
Okay.
And they've not been paid since then. Now the president is saying, go and pay them. Some people within the federal bureaucratic structure say, oh, it's 50% that they are going to pay. Nobody said pay 50%. The president said, go and pay.
Yeah.
The people who behave in this manner.
What is due them.
Yes, the people who behave in this manner, when the president says, do this, and they are trying to do something else, they are the enemies of the state. Because at the end of the day, you give the old man a bad name.
Oh, yes.
He has given a clear directive. Go and pay. He didn't say pay them half of the old salary. He didn't say pay 50%. Go ahead and pay this.
What is due to them.
What the president said during his campaigns, this president kept saying, look, I don't want strikes to happen again. He's happy to close this chapter. And when he said, go and pay those university workers, I want to believe that he was also referring to ASU, that they still have some leftover. They are still being owed.
Overhang.
Yeah, 3.5.
During
Buhari, months.
During Buhari time.
He paid part of it. This president paid part of it, but they have 3.5 months left outstanding. And NASU and SSANU, they have not been paid. They went to Unity Fountain to protest. The president got wind of their anger. And what we want to see is industrial harmony.
That's it.
It can't make a government happy that every time people are going on strike, people are threatening to go on strike, and it is when they issue threats, then you then decide to listen to them. No. We shouldn't continue along this path. And I believe that even if we had ASU strike, it shouldn't be SSANU that will be punished or NASU.
Yeah.
Because they weren't the ones who called the strike in the first place. But we know that, oh, they are helpers of academic staff, if I can use that, that word to describe them. So I believe that if you paid ASU,
Okay.
there was no reason to leave out SSANU.
SSANU and NASU.
Because ASU were the real people who went on strike. They were the ones. But you paid ASU, you didn't pay SSANU. Then you triggered protests. So it's better we close this chapter, as I heard the president has said. Close the chapter, pay everyone. The judgment of the National Industrial Court now says that the federal government or the employer of labor is permitted to not pay you
if you don't work.
If you do not work. That's a new one. And when workers are going on strike now, they know that that judgment is there.
Yeah.
They won in another breath because the same industrial court ordered that they should disenroll ASU from IPPIS.
Yeah.
That is the judgment that government has now said, go and implement.
It
wasn't government that decided on its own that it was going to disenroll. It was the National Industrial Court that gave that order. And for me, I'm not happy that it has taken more than a year before we are setting machinery in motion to implement a judgment that was handed down more than a year ago. So I hope that the Ministry of Finance, Federal Ministry of Finance, Budget, the Minister of Education, they will put heads together now. As the President has directed that they should find a way to pay, they should go ahead and pay so that we can have peace in our ivory towers.
Yusuf, BQ has talked about industrial harmony. It is key at a time like this because you can't be carrying too many things on the plate and expecting to move smoothly. You cannot.
Yes. When you look at it, we can blame ASU, we can blame NASU, and all other ones. But we must also talk about the government. For going to agreements they will never, ever implement. You see, when they agree on certain things with labor unions, be it ASU, NASU, whatever, the government is notorious for always not honoring its own part of the bargain. That's too bad. And you see them renegotiating agreements they freely went into. So the federal government, the state, we need to think about this. And they should know, because you can say, why are they going on strike? If everything is fine with any sane person, go on strike. No, if there is no crisis, usually the last resort, to the best of my knowledge. ASU has never really one day decided to go on strike. They will see warning, they will see, and they will put it out there. Most of them. You may not agree with ASU 100% of the times, but most of the developments or good stories you can talk about in the academic sector today, especially in the last 30 years, you must credit them to ASU. Maybe by now, there won't be any public education sector.
Oh, yeah.
So, yes, without ASU, there won't be. I'm not totally in support of ASU methods some of the times, but you must not shy away from the fact that they are the ones that have been able to salvage the sector. If not, we won't have it. So now the government itself, we need to think. I want what the president is doing, I want it to come to a logical conclusion. Don't do one NASU and leave SSANU and leave ASU. No, everybody. Because this president inherited the problem from former President Buhari. So solve it.
Who also inherited some.
No, most of the ones you could have solved. You had 8 years. This is somebody who has been in office for just a bit over a year. So you should solve, just clear it. Now, you have a president who is smart in negotiations, issues, crisis management.
And as a listening, number one citizen.
So you saw the way you handle the labor issue. Anybody that can handle the labor issue that way can handle any problem.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know any crisis that person cannot handle. So I mean, you handle it and they are clapping for you and say, no. This is somebody that can solve any problem, except the willingness is not there.
Yeah.
And I believe no president will not be willing to resolve a crisis. So now we should look at the broader issues. What makes strikes happen? This government should take a look at that. Under my government, no major, bodies like SSANU, SSANU, and we must think about funding, infrastructure development in public universities and polytechnics and all those things that usually provoke. So if welfare, go to our universities, polytechnics today, you'll be very, very sorry for Nigeria. Reason, the state of affairs, the vast majority of the young ones, especially the people with big prospects, they've left the space. And recruitment is not being done. You now see the burden shifted on the few, ones that are there. Go around. You see what is happening.
Okay, in conclusion now, Mr. President is trying to retool. So we are retooling, and what he's doing for me gives me hope. Can only get better.
Yes, he's trying to wipe the slate clean of the industrial disharmony that he inherited. I wished that former President Buhari had paid ASU those salaries, because even during the military era, whenever they went on strike, they paid their salaries. And the then Minister of Education pleaded and pleaded. I even learned that he shed tears, begging that the president should pay, but he didn't listen.
Thank you.
Now this has been inherited, and Mr. President is paying. So it's a fine thing to do.
Yeah. So we apply the brakes here, but not before thanking Babajide Kolade Utitoju, BKO. Thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you.
And of course, Adekunle Yusuf, we thank you too.
Not an Egbaman again.
No. We said Oshun. We are okay with
slip
that.
of tongue.
The tongue is in a wet place, so it slips once in a while. Okay. And once again, congrats over this.
Thank you.
Congrats. Yeah. So we are done. Not to worry, if you missed any part of this show today, not to worry. At 11 o'clock tonight, the repeat will take the airtime, so you can soak it in. And of course, on Sunday, it's a 2-hour stint from between 1:30 and 3:30 p.m. And just to inform you also, we are on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I am Citizen Jones to send. Bye-bye now. Take care.